How's everyone this morning? I have a relatively quiet day today. I am going to the hairdressers to address some of this regrowth that I've got going on, but other than that, I have no plans. I did think I would start today by talking about the airless pumps that our foundations, Colour Correcting Tinted Moisturiser, or CCTM, and our pearlizer come in, because now that I've used enough, you can really see what I mean by it. So this is my CCTM, and you can see that I've used all the product up to here and that there's none left in the tube. Whereas my deep CCTM, I've only used a tiny bit. So this is what I mean when I say that you won't have wasted product because of the airless pump. You can now see, after I've been using it for at least a month, I've lost track, but at least a month, exactly the way that the pumps work. This one is the most empty because it's the one that I use every single day without fail. I use it as my morning moisturizer. This is my foundation. And as you can see, I haven't used quite as much of it because I don't do foundation every day. And then there are some days when I do makeup, but I'll just mix a bit of the two of these together rather than doing a full layer of each. I'll do about half a pump of each one, or maybe slightly more CCTM and a half a pump of foundation, just depending on what I'm doing. But I just thought I'd start by telling you about that before I dive into my foundation. My CCTM is already on as per normal because I do that with my skincare right out of the shower. So one pump is this much. You don't have to use one pump, but I do find it's the amount that I like to get the finish that I want. If I'm doing anything that involves bold eyes or bold lips, I do want a full coverage foundation. Our foundation is a light to medium coverage, but it's also buildable. So what I do is I just use one full pump, and I find that gets me the coverage I want. If you don't want as full a coverage, you can either use less or just use the CCTM or a mixture of both. Like I said before, they're buildable products and they do work together. Yeah. I can't think of another word to use other than swipe. I swipe the products across my face to start with and down my neck until I've got a base cover everywhere. So that is, I'd say it was about 2/3 of the pump that went on to start with, and now this is where the last of it goes on as a second layer, and I focus it on where I need that extra coverage, which for me is around the jawline where I have all my skin issues from when I was sick last year. So let's build that up. Stipple to get a heavier coverage. And so for me, the places that I need to stipple are around there. And then I find my forehead just here, I also need to stipple. If I'm in a hurry, that's where I stop. If I have more time, I could do it everywhere, but I don't actually need to. So let's call it good there. And deep CCTM for my contour. Oop, that's too much. That is going to be too much. It's certainly to start with, so I've just taken some of it off with another lid. If I want to use it, then I can. But I certainly don't want to start with that much. So I just stipple it on, and I make sure I take the time to really truly stipple it on and get it all amongst the bristles of my brush. I use a very dense, flat topped brush for my contour. It's just my preference, but I find I can control the product best doing it that way. And then, oh, gotta get the angle right though. And when you're contouring, you want to suck in your cheeks to see where your cheekbone would be and then go right under it. So you can't see my cheekbones, but that's the line that's right under. So that's where I'm building it up. Now I'm going back in to get the rest of that deep and stippling it again. I just know that with contouring you have a much easier time if you don't go in with too much product to start with, and you can see how I've gradually built that up on that side. And as I've said before, what you'll find is that all of the colour correcting tinted moisturiser and the foundation products that we have will blend with time. So it looks like I've got a stripe across here and a whopping great stripe there, but I will blend it slightly with my foundation brush, and then they'll colour adjust to blend with my skin even more as time passes. So if I go back to this foundation brush, no extra product, just what was left on it. And I always run it along here because I don't want my contour going too low. So I want to be able to fit a full foundation brush under it, down here to make sure it doesn't come in too far. And then I blend the line on my forehead. And what you're seeing is a super harsh line because I've got the light up here. There's not much natural light outside today. It's super grey winter's day. So you'll find that as this video goes on, that line will blend better. And as we get to the very end, if I'm not happy, I can just go back in and do more blending. That is the beauty of makeup. Once you've got something on, it's not like you're stuck with it. So I've said it before, I use shortcake for practically everything from here on. This is mulberry shortcake. It is one of my old favorites. I really need to take the stopper out of my mulberry, but you really don't want to do it too soon. See here, there's just a little plastic stopper in the end to stop you getting too much product out. I've been using this mulberry as daily blush since July last year. So it has been used a lot more than you would just a regular eyeshadow. But I think I am just about due to take that stopper out. And to do that, where have I got it? I find the easiest way is to use one of these screws. You just twist it in, and once it's twisted in tight, pull it off and it comes out instantly. You can use tweezers, but I find that that's not actually the easiest way. So if you've got a screw like that, that is definitely what I would recommend. And there's blush. Okay. Now, do I need... Yep, so I do have some dark circles. They're not too bad. What I'm going to do is go in with one light dot of candlelight. Not very much at all. The products are super pigmented, so you don't need too much if you don't want a deep coverage. But the peach base of the candlelight will cancel out those dark circles. So you can see here, no dark circle, and under here you can see it. But they weren't super deep, so I didn't use too much. And now I am going to go in with Sandstone Pearl, which is my brightener. Well, it's my concealer, my brightener. Once Senegence launches their concealers in New Zealand, I will try them. I'm very, very keen to try them because I hear amazing things. But I love Shadow Sense under my eyes because they're a cream to powder formula. So once I've got it on, it dries in place and it's smudge proof, and because it's a powder, it just helps, I find, it helps with that extra oily skin that I've got. My skin is super oily. So if I use the Shadow Sense as my, oh, what's the word? Mind blank. Concealer or brightener, I quite like the effect that I get. I haven't had breakfast yet, so the brain is struggling. But I've got an appointment for that hair appointment that's going to go right across lunch. So I thought if I held off having breakfast as long as I could, that would be best for me, and then I can eat again when I get home. So this is Pearlizer. This also comes in the same container as the foundations and CCTMs, but I haven't been able to just stretch the budget. I have a budget just like everybody else. So I'm using the tester that distributors can get, which is the same size as Shadow Sense. But I love, love, love this product. And as soon as I can, I'll be getting the full size because I'm not going to stop using it. It's it. I'm good. I'm going to have it forever. Every now and then I will use a shimmer, a little bit there. I will use a shimmer Shadow Sense. Words are hard. Every now and then I will use a shimmer Shadow Sense as my highlighter if it ties in with the look that I'm doing better. But 90-something% of the time I am a Pearlizer girl now. Stay up. So this is Smoked Topaz. I have found that it is beyond question the best colour for my hair with its sort of silvery ashy tones. When I was more of a golden blonde, I found that Mocha Java was best. There are multiple different colours that Senegence does have that you can use for brow products. If you are using the Shadow Sense, you could use Rustic Brown, Mocha Java, Garnet or Smoked Topaz. They're the most common ones. There is actually a specialised brow product, and the people that love it are absolutely sold on it. They won't use anything else. I only have this one. I was gifted it. Tester. It's not my colour, but the way it works is, can you see that? Yeah, it's actually a little brush. You paint it on and it really creates the look of your eyebrows, of the hair of your eyebrows, and then you can brush it through. This is dark, so it's far too dark for me, which is why I haven't loved it, but I did, I have heard from people who find the right colour for them that they absolutely love it. So I wanted to mention it. Just because I don't use it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. The other product, while I'm talking along those lines, that I don't use is an eyeliner. I can't use eyeliner to save my life. My eyes are just so sensitive that they flutter too much to get it on. That's not to say it doesn't exist and that it's not something that people love. This is another one that I was gifted. It is the standard black. This is the liquid eyeliner, and again, super fine brush, pretty standard type for a brush. Now, you can also use the Onyx Shadow Sense in an eyeliner brush. I have seen that done plenty of times. I just can't use eyeliner. It's not my thing. I can't do it to save my life. You've seen what happens if I try and put mascara on when my eyes are acting up. Saw that last Saturday. The other thing is there is a pencil eyeliner, but again, for the same reason, because I simply just can't get my eyes to stay still long enough, I haven't even got that one yet. That said, when I make my next big personal order, it is on my wish list because I do want to try again with that. Now, sorry, distractions. Right, I'm just going to take a minute to... No, powder first. Let's do powder. I will. I wasn't going to wear powder. But the next thing will be cleaning my lips. Now, the reason for doing that is because Senegence is one of our main products is lipsense. Now, lipsense is a 4 to 18 hour wear lipstick. You will find that different colours will last different amounts of time on your skin for you. That's related to lots of different factors. One being how much water you drink, the pH balance of your lips, and the fact that all of the colours use natural pigments. Everything's falling in the sink. All of the products use natural pigments. So I have got to the point now where every colour I own will last the workday. So I can get about 9 hours out of every colour. I might be losing just a little bit around here by the end of the day, but it's not actually that noticeable, and I certainly never feel the need to reapply it. you will find that you build up to that, especially if you've been using other lipsticks and lip balms, because they create a waxy film on your lips. That's why you keep reaching back for more, because initially they feel good, but then as they build up and build up and build up, that is actually stopping your lips from absorbing the water and things like that they normally would. So you've got to take the time, if you've been using those products, to break them down as you start wearing lipsense. So clean lips. I'm going to go and start doing eyes now. As I said yesterday's video or the day before, I use natural tan for my base. With my skin colour, it's just the best match for my skin. Oh, no, that brush got too wet when it fell in the sink. Morning, Tanya, how are you? I use natural tan. If your skin colour is anything even vaguely like me, I would suggest that you grab it. It's a limited edition, but I'm going to keep using it when it's gone. I'm sorry, guys, but I just am. It's just so amazing. I've got one in stock, and if anyone else wants one, let me know now. If your skin is deeper than mine, a lot of people will use Candlelight for this, and if it's fairer, Sandstone Pearl. So there are options even after natural tan is gone. And I use that just to create a nice evenly covered base. The skin on your eyes is some of the thinnest on your body, and therefore what you find is that you can see veins and things through it. And so what I do is use that colour, this is Mocha Java, use that colour just to create one shade to start with before I start applying eyeshadows, so that they all have the best possible outcome. I also find, because I do have those super oily lids as well as skin, if I use a base colour, I get a better result. Right. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now, the colour I'm wearing on my lips today is an odd choice. Ah, Tanya, it is awesome. And yes, I would stockpile it too. The one that I've got was actually one that I did buy for myself. But if someone else wants it, I can sell it and I can get myself another one. This is Candied Cocoa Shimmer. And I'm just using it just in the corner to deepen slightly. I was talking about the lip colour I'm going to wear. It's one that I would normally consider a summer colour, but I woke up wanting to wear it. So dang it, I will. So I'm just patting or tapping this deeper colour on. I want it to be pretty much restricted to the outer eye today. Sometimes when I wear a deeper colour, I do bring it further in, but I don't want too dark of a look. And isn't Candied Cocoa gorgeous? That's what it looks like in the tube. Then I'm going back with Mocha Java. So I used the matte Mocha Java in the crease for a transition colour, and then I'm using the shimmer Mocha Java across the rest of the lid. I want to keep the eyes pretty simple today. Simple but effective. I love the consistency of this colour. Super easy to apply. If you are a beginner with shadow sense, this would be another great one to have with the Sandstone Pearl shimmer that I have recommended previously. Okay, my turn. Check the mirror, because that's what I need to do to see it properly. And I want just a little bit more on the outside there, blending into that Candied Cocoa. That's pretty good. And then I always check whether my colours are relatively balanced, and I go along with my finger most days just to ensure that I have that clear skin between the shadows, because I do use my shadows quite high because I have those hooded eyes. So when my eyes are open, the phone's a bit lower than I am tall, but when my eyes are open, you can't see much of my lid, and that's what I mean when I say hooded eye. This is the Sandstone Pearl Shimmer, and this is an example of one of the colours that I would use as a highlighter on my cheeks when I was saying earlier I'd use the shimmers. Pink Opal Shimmer is another great one for that, and it's also another great beginner's shadow sense colour. Yep, like that. Okay, primer time. And aside from the fact that I dropped the eyeshadow brush that I was using to start with in the sink and it got all wet, I used one brush for that look. Trying to guess which mirror to use so that I don't go out of shot is something I'm still working on. It's not the kind of thing you think about when you apply your own makeup every day until you start filming it, and then you go, how do I do that? Because my eyesight's not really good enough to see what I'm doing when I'm this far away from the mirror. But if I pick up the hand mirror, then I don't have the right angle for the best light. Okay, my lashes aren't sitting quite where I want them to be, so I grab a spoolie and twist underneath them. And if you purchase mascara from me and you want a couple of these spoolies, let me know. I have plenty of them, so I can share. Oops. Just going to go in with a little bit more under this eye. And then while that dries, I'm going to go in with lipsense. Now, if you like, open the window, all my glasses will fog up. If you like wearing bolder colours, but you find that one of the colours that you want to wear doesn't actually stay where you put it as well as you would like, one of the tricks that you can do is find a paler shade and apply it underneath, a paler shade that stays really well on you. So for me, I can't see a thing. For me, the two that I always turn to are going to be either Bombshell or Beige Champagne. And you won't need to keep doing that. It's just a trick that you can use while you're getting your lips up to, you know, going through that exfoliation process that I was talking about earlier, getting the rest of the wax off your lips. I don't need to, but I just thought it would be a technique that I would show you today, given that it's not a work day. I have a little bit more time on my hands. Oh, come on, glasses. This is just mean, because there's no way I can apply a colour that looks like that when I can't see. Sorry, folks. Winter's not fair. Okay. Wonder if I can do... No, I can't even do Bombshell. I can't see a thing. This is just mean. Tanya, do you have to go and sit on the side of the sports field today? Is it any warmer than it has been? Because it's been freezing lately. When I got out of bed very late at 8 o'clock yesterday and opened the curtains, there was still frost on the ground everywhere. Normally I'm in the office by 7, so I'm not used to seeing the frost because it's pitch black when I leave for the day. Okay. It's one coat of Bombshell, and dry it. And I always dry it for longer when I'm going to use a different colour next. If I'm going in with 2 layers of the same colour, I find I can get away with drying it less. Not as cold today. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. I think it's the same here. Haven't been outside yet though. And this is strawberry shortcake. And super thin layers. And always rush the same way. Don't go backwards and forwards. Center slip. And third layer of lipsense. And now you have to talk properly because you can't touch your lips together. Oh. And the waterline. Yeah, they go. It definitely feels like a summer colour. I want what I want. Drying, drying, drying. And it's dry. None on my finger. Look at the colour. Such a bright pink. And none comes off. So, that is strawberry shortcake. I absolutely love it. So it was 1 layer of bombshell and 2 of strawberry shortcake because I just wanted to show you both the technique for if you don't find that your bold colors stay as long as you want. Oh, can't reach. Or if you don't want them to be as bright. If I didn't want this to be as bright, I could have done 1 strawberry shortcake and then 2 bombshell over the top, or 2 bombshell and then just finished off with 1 strawberry shortcake. So there are always options there. So going in with the water resistant volume intense mascara in black. On my nose. The day will come when I don't get mascara somewhere it's not meant to be. It will come, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm a bit of a klutz in life, and I'm a klutz with my makeup too. Even if I don't get it anywhere around my eyes, it's not meant to be. It'll be on my nose or on my cheek. But hey, them's the breaks, right? Wiggle. Okay, and I'm going to try that technique again if you have hooded eyes that I've been being taught to have the mirror down low and look down into it to try and avoid getting any mascara on your eyes, on your lids I should say. And it feels very different while you're applying it looking down than it does looking straight ahead. But so far, when I try it in daylight, I have been finding it works. If I try it in the mornings when it's pitch black outside, I don't have good enough light to do it looking down. Oops. But I definitely do get less on my lids when I do look down. Now, I always thought that I was just being myself when I blinked onto my wand. And the reason I started doing that is because I actually can't hold my lids still to apply it moving the wand rather than my eyes. But more recently, I've seen other distributors who I follow for inspiration and who teach me, and they know they do it. We message and exchange notes and all of that. But what I find is that it's actually something they've started recommending because they can get a better coverage than if they move the wand. So what do you know? Something I've been doing because I can't hold my eyes still is something they've started doing deliberately. Yeah, klutz. But I want to get that off my top pronto. So I'm pulling off as much as I can. Oh no, it's not ideal. Dang it. Sigh. Okay, get it off my nose, and there's none on my lid. Maybe a very little bit on one of my lids. Just there. But otherwise, that is the finished look. Have a great weekend, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you again next Saturday. Bye!